Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Wait, I'm not centered at all. I'm going to shift this way. But welcome, one and all, to a beautiful, beautiful episode of Ant-Archy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, what is this new format? Don't worry about it. There's some things going on behind the scene that I'm playing with, and it looks really nice. All right? But today, a very special episode of Ant-Archy, and my students actually requested this kind of episode. So today, I will be talking about how to maintain and obtain good grades. All right? But before I turn into clutchy yapping, whatever you want to say, hey, producer, hit my opening for me. All right, and now we are going into our number one point of how to obtain and maintain grades. Now, before I say anything else, please understand this disclaimer. These next 5 points are going to be generalized. They are not for any specific teacher. All teachers are different. Not all teachers may give you that that freedom, that leeway to make up assignments. If you have a bad grade, you go from an F to an A. Not all teachers will give you that kind of space. But I would say for me, I do that. I do that for all my students. So, point number one on how to obtain good grades: remove any and all distractions. Let's start there. Let's really talk about how when students want to have good grades, when students are failing, it's 10 times out of 10 the people they're sitting around, the phones in their hands, the music in their ears, the tablets they play on. These kids are being raised on tablets. Do you know how many times I've had to confiscate phones and tablets all just for them to sit down and be quiet for 5 minutes? Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, but these people keep talking to me and I gotta text my mom and come on now, don't give me all those excuses. If you really want to have good grades, remove yourself. Put your phone in your pocket. Put your tablet down for 10 minutes. You can't listen to me telling you, hey, this is what the constant of proportionality is, rather than you asking AI. Because when you go to a job interview and someone asks you, hey, how did you do this? Oh, I don't know. I just asking AI. Like you know how stupid you sound? That tells you like you cheated your whole way through. All right. So remove any and all distractions, please. If your friends are talking, move. If you see people that's like interrupting the teacher, stay away from them. Those are not the cool kids. Those are not your friends. If you truly want to be a good student and truly want to have good grades, please remove any and all distractions. Focus up. All you got to do is listen for 45 to 50 minutes. It's not that hard. If you can sit on your phone and lay in your bed for 4 hours, you can listen to one person talk for 45, 50 minutes. All right? That right there is number one. I think my voice is leaving because I've been yelling so much. But point number two. Now, like I said before, not all teachers are the same. But in my perspective, this is what I would like. Number two, have a great, and I mean a great, student-to-teacher relationship. And before you saying all that weird stuff, listen. When I say have a great student-to-teacher relationship, what I mean by that is make sure you're on good terms with your teacher. So if there's ever a point to where, let's say you have a failing grade and you say, hey, Mr. Greenfield, can I help, or can I like make up this assignment? Can I do the assignment again, or can I get like extra credit? Now, if you were a kid that annoys me every day is always out of their seat, always screaming and yelling, and always bringing food and don't ever want to listen to nothing. But then you want to leave class early because you think you're higher than everybody else. If you ask me to save you, I'm gonna tell you no. I'm like, no, I'm not saving you. Why would I save you? You give me a hard time every single day, but you want me to save you because your grade is reflecting how you act in class. All just because you don't want to have a strong start, like you can't run full speed at the start of the race. Now you want to try to run full speed at the end after walking? No, that's not how that works. When the quarter starts, you need to start striving. Do all those discussions, participate in class, turn in assignments, put your phones away. Phones away. Remove any and all distractions from you and your friends. So when the teacher, right? When the teacher is looking at you and they say, you know what? This kid is very cooperative. This kid is very polished. This kid doesn't do all that extracurricular work and yelling and screaming and disrupting class. That kid doesn't do that. And when you show that you're different than everybody else, I promise you a teacher will acknowledge that. And as a teacher, I always acknowledge that. I always acknowledge the kids that's in their seat, the kids that aren't screaming and talking, the kids that do the extra work when I ask them, hey, how'd you get this answer? Instead of them just taking a picture of the board and they showing the AIs. Yeah, you know who you are. When I ask you a blatant question, hey, how do you solve this? You take your phones out and you scan the problem and it's telling you step by step how to solve it. But you couldn't ask me when I'm right in front of you. That's here nor there. I'm not here to talk trash. I'm just here to help. Now, number 3. The number 3 for what you need to do when you're trying to obtain good grades. Take notes. Please. This has to be the most obvious thing to do. Take notes. Because one thing what bothers me the most is if I don't like to talk a lot. I don't want to stand up in front of an entire class and talk for 40 minutes because when I was in college, I didn't want that. I didn't want to hear my professor talk to me for 45 minutes, an hour and a half. I didn't want that. No. I just want to talk for maybe 15, 20 minutes, give you a worksheet, and there you go. And that's it. But when it comes to taking notes, please write down and understand what the notes are saying to you, right? So let's say if I was explaining the constant of proportionality, all right? Everybody get your math workbooks out, get a pencil, pen, whatever you want to write with, all right? Oh, I should have added that one. Come prepared. That's another thing, but that's here nor there. So we're taking notes, right? If I'm explaining the constant of proportionality, if I say there's a graph here and the constant of proportionality is when the x value is 1. When the y value is whatever, when x is 1, what is it? Right? And let's say you had to write notes on it. If you want to ask me questions on, hey, I don't understand, or hey, could you explain this more? I'm like, all right, sure, bet. I got you. Have that great student-teacher relationship and always take notes. Because we're going to ask you at a later point anyway. It's going to be on a test. You might as well study your notes instead of saying, you know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom and leave for 45 minutes. You know what? I'm going to go on my phone because I look really good today. You know what? It's my little cousin's birthday. I need to text her and say happy birthday during my class. You know what? I'm hungry. Hey, you know what? That person over there, they look a little bit too comfortable. Let me throw a pencil at them. Let me throw a piece of paper at them. Hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave and go see my man. I think I'm gonna go outside in the hallway and see who's roaming the hallway. See who I can. No, sit down and do your notes. These notes are going to help you. Those people are not. If you take notes for a test, if you take notes for classwork, if you take notes for a county-wide test, those tests will help you, or those notes will help you. Instead of you looking for every distraction on why you should get up, and finding the smallest reason to move. Just take 15, 20 seconds out of your time, write down notes, and there you go. Now you're safe. All right. So now on to my next point. Actually, I lied. Before I talk about the next point, there's some, how should I say this? There's some cooking I need to do. And actually, the Leon Thomas Group got us. So if we can play that commercial, well, I go make me a sandwich.
Announcing the newest show from the Leon Thomas Group, Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen.
Each week, we're going to have kids on the show in their home kitchen, showing us their culinary expertise right here on Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen. If you know of a kid that would be great to have on Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen, contact Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group.
His email address is leon@theleonthomasgroup.com.
That's leon@theleonthomasgroup.com.
Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen.
At Rod's Car Repairs, we work on all cars, old cars, new cars, and your car. Car Repairs by Rod.io.
Baked by Brianna has been your Baltimore hometown bakery since 1969. Located in Roxton Plaza, Baked by Brianna. Visit bakedbybrianna.io.
Well, did you like them? All right, good. Because when I tell you that was the fastest sandwich I've ever eaten in my life, now I kind of want another one. And I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so like that's kind of like the main ones that I eat. But we're getting a little bit off track. But let me wrap up, because you're either A, watching this in my class, 2, watching it on your phone at home, or 3, you were suggested by this content by your friend, or possibly, but actually, no, I'm not going to suggest it to you. But your friends are probably suggested this to you. And I want to say thank you for your support, and I highly appreciate you. Now, point number 4 on how to maintain and obtain good grades. Point number 4, be a leader. Be a leader. Please, we cannot stress this enough. Be a leader. And when I say be a leader, be that one person that actually stand up and say, you know what? Hey, teacher, am I allowed to move? Hey, teacher, can I move somewhere else because I can't sit here? Hey, teacher, can I sharpen my pencil or get a pencil from somewhere because I'm not prepared? Actually say and take those steps forward to say, you know what? We need to learn. We need to know how to add, subtract, and multiply numbers. We need to know how to use the Pythagorean theorem. We need to know what slopes are. The teachers are trying to do their job, and my friends are not letting them do it. There's always a classroom distraction, but you can be that one person to say, you know what? Everybody be quiet. Everybody stop talking. Don't make it weird. Like, oh, if you talk, you like this person. If you talk, I don't know, you like talking to this person. Don't make it weird. Just say, hey, get the class quiet. I have class reps in my classroom. In every single class, I have 2 reps. There's the class rep, which is like the president, and then the vice class rep, which is like the vice president. So when the class rep isn't here, I talk to my vice rep. And those 2 people, those are the people that they chose. I didn't handpick them. But it's like the kids chose their leaders. They chose themselves. And my class reps, they should be the pinnacle. And I mean the pinnacle of accountability, leadership, and helping me if my day ever gets tiring. If my day is ever filled with flooding, grading, and meetings and whatever, I look at my class reps and I say, hey, here's a PowerPoint. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to explain it, but you don't have to explain it the same way I do. You can explain it how you want to take it. Okay? So that's what being a leader is. Even if you're not a class rep, if you're some person you're like the weird outcast of the class, and maybe there's somebody that's just like, that likes picking on you or whatever, but you can still be a leader too. I don't have to pick you to be a leader. You can step up and show me why you should be a leader. Because a lot of you are still young. A lot of you don't know stuff and you guys just want to have fun. I understand that. But building a leadership trait early on, boy, the world is at your fingertips. Let somebody come out of middle school and I hear, oh yeah, they have an amazing leadership trait. I promise you, I'm offering that guy $500,000 a year. 500 bands a year, and I'm giving him a job. Just because he has that leadership trait. That's what the world can do for you. Build up a leadership trait inside the classroom and actually be that person to say, you guys need to be quiet. Because our teachers, we get tired of saying it so many times. We get tired of telling the class to be quiet. We get tired of sitting there and waiting. We get tired of calling parents. Me personally, I don't want to call parents every time the classroom gets loud. I don't. I'd much rather the class, the students, my leaders, do it for me. So I can save my voice and stop screaming every 5 seconds. Okay, now to wrap up tonight's show, I want to give one last point. And this last point is going to kick every single one of you in the kneecaps. Because you guys don't understand how hefty point number 5 is. It's small. It's like oh, well, I am that already. But guess what? Point number 5, be accountable. Please be accountable. Do not give me 5,000 excuses on why you don't have a pencil, on why you don't have your bag, on why you need to leave the classroom, or anything else to obstruct your learning. Do not give me excuse upon excuse upon excuse because you want to leave. No. Actually say, you know what? When you asked me, when I asked you, hey, can I go to the bathroom? I didn't go straight to the bathroom. I went to a classroom first. I talked to my friends. I roamed around the school, and then I actually went to the bathroom. Tell me the truth. Like, don't lie to my face. I know you're lying already. Just tell the truth. The truth is, bro, I promise you the truth is going to set you free. I heard that so much growing up. The truth is going to set you free. Just tell the truth. Even better example. If I give you a homework slip, right? If I give you homework and you want to say, oh, I don't want to do it. Well, you didn't give me a paper. Okay. Well, it says right here in the records, you were here that day. If you were here, I gave you a paper. I gave you I gave you homework. Where is it at? Oh, I left it at home. It was due last week. At what point do you say, you know what? I need this homework. It's a different story if your bag is terrible and it's messy in there. Just bring it to me. Just bring me the homework. That way I know I can give you homework and it's going to come back to me. That's the main thing I want to know. If I give you a sheet of paper, are you going to bring it back to me? Because a lot of people are going to make up excuses. Students. A lot of students are going to make up excuses on why or how they couldn't bring you a sheet of paper with their answers on it. I try to help my students with the homework because I know I don't want them sitting at home for 4 or 5 hours, like struggling with 5 questions, 10 questions. I don't want that for them. I'll give them assistance in class. I may do 1 or 2 problems for free just so they can see the steps on how to do it. And then they use the rest of the steps, do the problem. But when it comes to being accountable, everybody needs to realize that excuses hurt you. If you give me an excuse, that's telling me I can't trust you. So if it ever comes to a time that I need a student for something, and the main thing I know you as, you gave me an excuse on how you couldn't do something so small, but you want me to ask you for a favor. No. If I want you to run to another teacher's classroom to give him a message, I'm not asking you because you're not trustworthy. I want for me, remember, not all teachers are the same. For me, I want my students to be trustworthy. I want to be able to look at them and be like, you know what? I trust that this person will deliver the message and come right back. Go from A to B and not fly around to go point C, D, E, F, G. They won't do that. They'll go over here, come straight back, and everything will be cool. All right? So those are the 5 points on how to obtain and maintain grades. So if you have any other point that you want to share, please drop it down in the comments below, or even maybe write down on a piece of paper, or you can just tell me, later on. But whatever works for you, how you go from an F, or it was an F when I was younger, but how you go from an E to an A, these 5 points will help you, guaranteed. Even with the mean teachers, with the teachers that yell at you a lot, I promise you these 5 points will help you every single time. So now, thank you everybody for watching this very educational video of Ant-Archy. If you ever want to come on and tell me what you think about certain topics, you can always hit the link in my the link in the description. My IG is on the screen. It's Clutchy Ant with 2 Y's. That's Clutchy 2 Y's and the Ant. And my Twitter is Big Dog Ant 4, Big DAWG Ant 4. And finally, my email is anthonygriffo9@gmail.com. Okay. Remember, you can use those. If you use those 3 socials, or really 2 socials, use 2 socials to send me any questions, any comments, or anything you want to say about the show. Even if you want to come on and ask me, right? YouTube.com/AOEAnt to catch any past of gaming stream or Ant-Archy episodes. They will be on there. Okay, you can join the community, and you too can be legendary. All right. Now, I want everybody to go out there, stay blessed, stay passionate, and stay positive, guys. I'll see you later. Whoop.